Arrival is what we're talking about today, guys. The merger CIIC or CIIG. So today we're talking about this company. We have a lot to go over. My name is Chris. Thanks for joining the channel. Please hit that spicy like button. Hit the subscribe button. It took me a while to go through all this and find all this information. So if you guys would please hit that spicy like button and hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Without further ado, I don't want to stall you guys. We have a lot of information to go over. Let's get into it. I just want to take a quick look at their stock chart because this is absolutely crazy, especially for on the day. I mean, look at this stock. It's up almost 40% this morning. It's not even noon yet. It's almost 11 o'clock where I'm at today, and the market's closed around 3, but it's already up 37.36%, and this stock seems not to be slowing down anytime soon today. So this is really exciting. If we take a look at their 5-day chart, they're up 126%, guys. This is crazy. If you would have put, $10,000 in it, you would have $26,000 in 5 days. 5 days, guys. That is insane. This stock is going parabolic. So enough about the stock chart. So here's a little bit about the valuation before we get into the good stuff. So pretty much in November 18th, 2020, Arrival and CIIG and other parties entered a business combination agreement, which pretty much means they're going to use another business to go public instead of going IPO. Like a lot of companies, a lot of times IPO can take a lot longer than just going through a SPAC. And this way they can pretty much get on the market sooner. They're going to get on the market Q1 2021, and they're going to be under the ticker symbol Arrival. And they should be trading under the NASDAQ, which is pretty exciting because the NASDAQ's obviously one of the bigger funds in the US right now, and that's pretty exciting for this company. It looks like they're going to be going public around $5.5 to maybe $7 billion now, just because the stock has ran so much. We're not going to really know exactly what this company is valued at until it goes public, but they're expecting $14.1 billion in revenue by 2024, which this is probably one of the reasons why this stock is running so much, and just a lot of the other exciting news that we're going to get into here in a second. And one of the most important things that I could get out of this sheet right here is that they're going to have about $660 million in cash on their balance sheet once they do go public. So that's going to give them a lot of money to start right out the gate, start putting up these little factories that they're talking about and start building this product, because they're supposed to be producing product in early 2021 or mid 2021 and start getting this rolling by the end of 2021. So we'll see about that. These companies are brand new, and you can't really put all your money in them and expect these companies to do what they're going to say, because I like to see products that are on the road, that are working, that have been tested a couple million miles at least for me to even enter a SPAC stock like this. Arrival will trade on the NASDAQ exchange under ticker ARVL. Even before announcing their SPAC deal, Arrival was one of the most valuable startups in the UK. So this is very exciting, especially for the UK, because now they're getting on the boat of EVs. We've had obviously Tesla in the US, we have NIO in China, and this Arrival stock could really kick off the EV in Europe and the UK. They received $110 million from Hyundai and Kia. They also received some money from BlackRock, and they expect the valuation to be around, like I said, about $5.4 billion. But we'll have to see, just because this SPAC has just gone parabolic in the last couple days. I mean, it's gone over 125% in 5 trading days. So we're going to see where this ends up. It could end up being way overvalued. If they're expecting revenues of $14 billion in 2024 and the stock's already valued at $10 billion today, that's a long shot. That's investors looking pretty far in the future. Usually investors look out 6 months to a year when they're valuing a company like this. I know some of the smaller companies, we get excited on, like Tesla and stuff, and we start looking out those 3 to 5 years. But for a startup like Arrival, I don't think it's very smart to be looking that far out, because we know nothing about this company pretty much. We don't know how they're going to execute. We don't know how they're going to deal with their money, how they're going to deal with their debt, anything yet. So this company could come out very overvalued in my opinion. Obviously, they want to have competitive prices that are lower than other electric options. The key word here is want, and I think a lot of people are saying they will, but companies like this, like I said, you just have to pay attention to and really understand them and really understand that they're babies and they don't have the mass production yet. They don't have the facilities that they want out yet. They don't have the contracts and stuff they need yet. All right, so here we are on their website. I want to go through some of their little products they have. Obviously, they have the bus. It's coming out in 2021. This is their big money maker right here. They got their van coming out in 2022, a large van in 2022, and a small vehicle in 2023. So obviously, this company is looking out years in advance on their product. Another really exciting thing is this micro factory. Now I'm going to leave you guys to watch this, and it's a pretty cool video, so check it out.
Today's products are built on iteration, version after version, creating the illusion of progress. It's time to stop thinking about the future and start thinking from the future. Not only create the product itself, but also reinvent the process that makes it. 100 years ago, the assembly line revolutionized transportation. The same approach is still in place today, only more complicated, much longer. A process that limits innovation and requires enormous investment. So we started again with a single smart production cell, designing for total robotic assembly. Each cell capable of building any of our vehicles, modular and scalable. We've named it the Microfactory. Installed in existing warehouses, they start production quickly at a fraction of the cost, making vehicles locally to be used locally, empowering the communities they serve. These microfactories can be deployed all over the globe, making electric vehicles better and affordable to all. This is the next transport revolution.
So a very cool video they have there on their micro factories. And a little bit about this, these micro factories are operational in 6 months, so they can start building these factories and have them operational in 6 months and have their products rolling out quick, which tells me that that's why we're gonna have that mid to late 2001 start picking up sales and start, delivering these vehicles pretty quick like. And I hope this is all true, and this is another reason this stock has gone parabolic, and this is a good reason to invest in this company. But like I said, this company could come out of this SPAC merger way overvalued and people could start taking gains really quick, and you don't want to lose your money in it. So just limit your risk reward on this one, if I will. This really helps out because like in smaller towns, I know some of you guys live in the big city, but for me, I live in like a smaller town or next to a smaller town anyway. I actually live way out in the woods. But for these factories to be able to come to our smaller communities and give us jobs, that really helps us with, our economy, and they don't have to build like a large factory. Like I live next to, over Louisville's about 3 hours away or 2 hours away, and they have this huge Ford plant, and there's no way that they could put that factory in my town because we don't even have enough people to like operate that factory, let alone like if people start quitting and then they need to hire, like there's just no way. And with these smaller factories that they're coming out with, these micro factories, this could really help these smaller economies boom and give a lot of people that are younger more jobs and help these economies just do better, over the long run. And of course, they're vertically integrated, so that means they pretty much make all their own products. They don't outsource a lot of their products. They can make it in-home, which makes companies more valuable in my opinion. Like when Apple started making the M1 chip, that chip was way better than the Intel chip. And when Tesla started making their self-driving chip, that chip was way better than the AMD chip that they were using or the Nvidia chip they were using. And this just makes it where a company can really strive to get what they want exactly, instead of relying on an outsource and relying on somebody else to make something for them and then waiting for their technology to catch up to what you really want. Of course, here's their bus that they have the idea of making right here, and it's a pretty slick looking bus to me. I mean, and this cargo van, this thing looks pretty sweet as well. And they have their own digital technology, you know. They're gonna have navigations and stuff in it. And hopefully they'll have self-driving in these too, because a lot of these EV companies, they're not valued so high because they're a car maker. They're valued so high because they have the technology, they have the self-driving, they have other things in them that are making them so much more valuable, like charging stations and etc., that are drawing in a lot of revenue. So it'll be interesting to see where this company goes to also make more money instead of just making vehicles. And like I said, their technology, everything has been developed in-house, including materials, components, and software, all enabling our new method of manufacturing. So this is a very interesting company because they're just taking a completely different approach on a lot of their stuff. Now, some of their cool stuff about their material is it's 50% lighter than steel, yet durable and resistant to damage. Now, that's a pretty broad statement, but the 50% lighter than steel isn't, and any vehicle maintenance required is easier and more cost efficient as a result. So that'll be interesting to see as well, because if they can make a new material that's going to make it easier for them to work on their vehicles, they could be far ahead of these other companies like NIO and Tesla in just making the body easier to work on and cheaper to work on. Eliminating the use of sheet metal has removed complications in stamping and welding process during manufacturing. So that was one of the complaints with Tesla was, took them so long to make the rear end because they had to make this huge die that could really stamp out the rear end, because a lot of the other companies, whenever they tried it, it would leave a lot of fractures or whatever in the car, and Tesla got past that. But for them, it looks like they're taking a different approach with this new material that they have coming. It'll be interesting what it's called and see what that is exactly. So they're modular and versatile. All of our components are designed on a module grid-based system for simple assembly. Each component can be used across a rival's different vehicle platforms, allowing the manufacturer at scale and rapid deployment of new vehicle types. So that's pretty cool that they're going to use the same assembly lines to even make their vehicles of the future. And like I said, this is all just talk. So a lot of this could be hype on this company, and they could run into very complicated, procedures or situations in the future that could change all of this. So just be careful with your money. You can't just put all your money in one basket, obviously. Anyway, they have like one conference call that I got on and I listened to them, and they had very interesting things to say, but there's no financials or anything out for this company. There's no numbers out for this company. There's no deliveries out for this company. So we're going to have to see with this one. And of course, their software can be updated over the air, which is awesome because this makes vehicles appreciate over time or hold their appreciation till the end of their life if they can continuously update their data and their software throughout the whole lifetime of the vehicle. It makes it a lot more appealing for people to want to buy these, knowing like, hey, if something does go wrong, I don't have to take it into the shop every time. They can just boom, 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 update, and then we're all good. We're good to go. So here's some really interesting facts about Arrival. They were founded in 2015. They have a vision of making cities cleaner and more efficient place to live. They've since grown their team to 12,000 people plus across 11 cities and 8 countries. So that's pretty promising because that doesn't mean that they're just like a nobody. They obviously have this huge team and they obviously have this huge payroll and stuff. And they're in 8 different countries. So
we're not just another OEM, and we're not trying to create products for the sake of creating products. We're really thinking about every single piece of the pie rather than just focusing on pushing a ton of vehicles out there. We have a massive focus on culture, and I suppose that culture is built on people who are obviously really clever from lots of different backgrounds, lots of different experiences in terms of work and life. You see some amazing things, and more often than not, I am like the dumbest guy in the room, and it's just awesome to be that person, to see all this sort of stuff happening and helping these guys and girls, create awesome stuff. When I had the opportunity to come and look at what Arrival was doing, it really gave me that gut feel that We're really trying to question everything about the automotive industry, question the right parts of the industry, and really try and make all these like crazy visions of mobility you see in films and movies and stuff, and actually make that a reality rather than just sci-fi fiction.
So it's really cool to see their team, and how they act. And this guy, he seems like he's on top of his stuff. He seems like he knows what's going on, and he has a lot of confidence in this company. Of course he does. He's part of it. One of like the most exciting products that I've seen on this company. Now I'm obviously not into buses and stuff, so but this car right here, this is a very cool car.
So my name's Mark Roberts. I'm Chief Creative Officer at CIIC Cars.
Move myself over here.
I would say we are redefining iconic classic cars powered by Arrival's technology. All of the hardware you see in front of me here. Using the power inverters, the electric motors, the reduction gearbox and so on. And to complement that, we're using Arrival to make the fenders, doors, the trunk and the hood of the car out of super lightweight composite panels, which is saving us several hundred kilos, massively adding to the performance of the car. The two words I would use to describe what we do at Charge is craftsmanship and technology. So through Arrival, our technology partner, we're taking such an iconic car, a 1967 Mustang, but we're building it as a new vehicle, a whole new heart and soul using cutting-edge technology.
So very cool again. Like I said before, guys, got cool products that they're coming out with. This car is probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen. I'm an old Mustang fan. I love the old Mustangs, and to see that they're going to make a badass old electric Mustang into the new age is just super exciting for me. So some valuation figures. Of course, they have the $5.4 billion valuation coming up. We've talked about that. But something we haven't talked about is their contracts. They have $1.2 billion in contracts right now. So very interesting to see where this money is actually going to come from. And a lot of you actually know. But let's take a look. That's right, guys. UPS is their contract. So UPS orders hundreds of millions of euros worth of built electric vehicles from Arrival, accelerating UPS transactions to a zero-emission fleet. Today's initial order of 10,000 vehicles will be rolled out over the course of 2020 to 2024 with an option of a further order of another 10,000 vehicles. So that's very exciting for them because that gets their name out there big time. If they can get this contract and really just nail it on the freaking head, then this company is way undervalued. We can go back and forth all day, but with these new companies right now, this is awesome news for this company. And they're going to build these vehicles using the micro factories with the low cost, low efficient, new material, 50% lighter, their software that they can update, the whole 9 yards. So this company has a lot going for them, guys. And one last thing we'll go over before I end this video. Arrival to build its first U.S. electric vehicle microfactory in York County, South Carolina. So with their $46 million investment, they will create 240 jobs. And this is exciting, for these smaller communities, 240 jobs can mean a lot. I know like for a place like California or in the big cities like New York or Chicago, 240 jobs ain't nothing. They need millions of jobs created in those cities. But I don't know how big York County is, but for a community like mine, 240 jobs, that could mean a lot for, us. And yeah, so it's really cool to see that they're going to be building this in York County, South Carolina. And like I said, they said that they can get these up and running within 6 months. So we'll see, they announced this on October 13th, 2020. So where's it at, guys? Of course, I know they're going through a lot right now with the merger and stuff, but we want to see some progress. We want, as investors, to see this company really pushing their team, really pushing these factories out and getting out on the road, because years can go by really quick and companies could, stall and not do anything at all. And we'll just have to see with this company. I really feel like it's a strong investment. I don't want to, tell you guys to invest in. I'm not a financial advisor at all, but from my opinion on this company, that's why investors are so excited about it, is because they believe in this. They believe in this future of these micro factories with their new materials. They believe in this company. Arrival obviously has a really cool website, a really cool name. And yeah, thanks for joining the channel, guys. That was all the information that I could find on this company. I spent a couple hours, researching this and putting this video together. So if you guys don't mind to hit that spicy like button, hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. My name is Chris. Thanks for joining the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all for today. Peace out.